Hi everyone, I'm finishing my book today, The 21 Most Powerful Minutes in a Leader's Day. So I've covered the chapters pretty much reflecting on my career and my journey and what I've done in Canada to help me to be successful. And my journey is not just my journey, it's the journey of most immigrants that come here. And a lot of people go through what I am going through. So this is the final chapter of the Law of the Legacy, and John Maxwell is basically asking us, what is your dream? So some people have big dreams. They dream of setting up organizations all over the world. They dream of leaving legacies that are going to change the world. For me, my legacy and what I dream of is not that big. I just dream of making an impact in my family life, in my nieces and nephews' lives, and my cousins. So for me, it's not about corporations, it's not about big things. It's just about the small things in life and creating some good memories along the way. For me, a job is a means to an end, and I apply my values in my work. But for corporations, I think there's good points in here. And the scripture that he gives is John 14:12. It's the thought for today: a leader's legacy, your toughest job is your deepest joy. And the scripture is, I tell you for certain that if you have faith in me, you will do the same things that I am doing. You will do even greater things. So in any organization, when you look at how turnover takes place, you'll have people that will come and you'll gather followers and they leave. That's usually about 25% of the people. Nobody is successful. Then you gather followers and you have limited success. They stay. That's about 50% of the people. And then you have people who are developing other leaders. They leave and somebody else gets the success because they're building on the foundations that other people have already laid and the work that's already done. That's about 5%. And then developing leaders who stay and there's mutual success, that's about 15%, where the goals of the organization and the goals of the individual coincide. And then you have people who are developing leaders of leaders. They stay and develop others. That's about 4% of your organization. And then the whole organization succeeds. But think about it. That's a very small percentage of people. And then you have handing off to leaders of leaders. They stay and lead well after you're gone. So that's a legacy of success for everyone. And that's about 1% of the people. So those are good concepts for us to take with us. And for me, I'm a dreamer. I've always been a dreamer. I've always dreamed of a better life for myself. I dreamed of playing the piano. I dreamed of learning to ride a bicycle. I dreamed of swimming. I dreamed of taking ballet classes. I dreamed of singing. I dreamed of traveling to different places in the world. And most of those things so far have come true for me. And now my dream is of good health. I'm sure when you look at my photos, you can see that one eye is off. It looks a little bit squint. And that's because of everything that I've gone through here in Canada. All the challenges I've had, all the unemployment, all the stress and the abuse in the contact center roles. But I'm coming right. I'll probably never be 100% where I used to be. Even my face has changed. If you look at pictures of me compared to if you look at 2007 to now, I know I've put on weight. I know I need to lose that weight. But I'm getting there slowly. So my dream is, I'll never have perfect health, but my dream is of good health. My dream is of continuing to apply for jobs where I can use my skills and to get full-time employment that pays me enough to buy my own home, because I really don't like throwing money away and giving it to a landlord and other people benefiting from my hard work. My dream is to see organizations that promote things like the Great Reset, where everybody lands up poor, not be successful, because I really don't believe in that ideology. I don't believe in the barter system. I don't believe in a lot of the things that people are doing now. So I'm a capitalist at heart. I believe in owning property. I believe in traveling. I believe in a better life. And so those are my dreams. They are not everybody's dreams, but they are my dreams. And he gives the thought, a legacy is a dream that changes not only your life, but also the lives of all the people it touches. So you'll find that many of my friends, we do similar things. We have similar ways of thinking because we grew up in the same culture in Zimbabwe. And we grew up under that oppressive rule, the British rule, where serfdoms were created and we were just minions there to do the job. But most of us have done very well. Most of us have completed at least a basic education. We've gone to high school. Some of us have excelled and gone to universities even when people thought we couldn't, like me and some of my friends. And some of us have worked our way up in companies without getting that extra help, that extra support that you need in life. So we all have different accomplishments and different things to celebrate. We have different legacies that we will leave behind once we pass on from this life. But I am a dreamer. I've never been one to settle for mediocrity. I should say I've never been one to settle for saying, oh yeah, minimum wage is a lot of money. Minimum wage is not a lot of money. You can't do anything with minimum wage. You can't do it. And if I hadn't had the credit cards that I have, if I hadn't had those lines of credits that I built up when I had those 4 years of permanent employment in the bank, I wouldn't be able to do half the things I've done now because I was studying part-time. I didn't qualify for student loans. There's a lot of programs out there where they will give money for people who want to study, but they want you to study full-time. And I couldn't do that because I had my own property. I had to work and study at the same time. And unfortunately, the circumstances that were created by our governments made it impossible for me to renew my mortgage, to get a second mortgage. And no matter what I did, roadblocks were put in the way. So that's how it goes sometimes. A lot of people go through what I go through. I've met lots of women of all different races. Women who are married, who are divorced, women who have been uprooted from their homes like me, who are now in Canada. Women who are born here in Canada, who can't get their mortgages renewed. And that's just the way that things are right now. But we have to keep pressing forward and keep doing what we do and keep believing in our dreams and focus on creating those memories. And if you don't have people around you that want to do the same things as you, like me, then do it for yourself, like I do. Go to a movie on your own, go to concerts on your own, create some nice memories so that you can look back and you can say, I invested in this. I went to this concert and this artist is somebody who supported human rights in my childhood and still does. Or go to a play that invests in people's careers and builds up the community. There's lots of different things you can do. You can watch movies from the 70s or the 80s to see how the film industry has changed or how entertainment has changed. So that's how I look at legacy for my life. It's not big things, it's small things that I'm doing where I am with the people I'm with right now. I admire people that can go and travel all around the world and that can do all these fantastic things, because I can't, at least not anymore with my health. I have to be careful with my health, so it's unfortunate, because if it was 5 years ago, when I joined Teleperformance, there was nothing wrong with me. I was perfectly fine. But since I've worked in the call center, my health has deteriorated. And I could travel. I even traveled on my own. I went to Prospect with my uncle and my aunt. I traveled alone coming home on the flight. And I took a flight because I didn't want to do that long bus journey. But now I can't do those things anymore. So whether I'll be able to travel again and go to see some of the places I still want to see, I don't know. But hopefully God will bless me with that health and I will be able to do it. And with the material means, because in our tradition, in the Catholic tradition, we believe in spiritual blessings and temporal blessings. We don't believe in creating poverty. We believe in lifting people out of poverty. And yes, there's racism even in the church, but there's also people like me who will do whatever we can to help overcome that. And not everyone believes in liberation theology, and that's fine. But for me, I came from a background where trade unions made a difference, where workers' rights made a difference. And for me, work is sacred. So whatever work I do, I put my heart in it. I take pride in it. And in the end, we win, even if it's not in this life, in the next life. So we are winners. Whether people like it or not, it doesn't matter. Because we don't go around bombing hotels, planning murders, planning which places we're going to target, killing innocent people. And that's just the reality. How many more hotel Mumbais do they have to be before people say, yeah, actually you're right, and actually you're kind and you're compassionate, instead of accusing me of being not compassionate, not demonstrating compassion, not demonstrating empathy. Because I really don't know what kind of empathy and compassion they want me to show. If you look at my life and you look at how I've lived, I've done nothing but that. And my other dream was to have my mother in Canada, not to be accused of abusing her, or being fixated and obsessed with the family or with the banks. If you're passionate about something or you love something, you want that love to be reciprocated. You don't want to be taken off to the police station and accused of things that are not true and be told you're going to be arrested. I mean, which normal person would like that? I'm a normal person. And if people don't see that, that's not my problem. Because the church itself, priests in the church itself, have said that this time would come, where those of us who are normal will be accused of having mental health problems. And those of us who are living good lives, not doing credit card scams and not doing gift card scams and not doing people down, will be the ones who are getting accused of all kinds of false things. And that's exactly what's happened to me. So be it. That's my legacy, and I will continue to build on that legacy in small ways, doing what I can, and doing what from those small things, big things arise, big things happen, even greater things than I could ever have thought or imagined. I could never have thought or imagined that I would be selected to represent Bono and the One campaign in Canada. I did what I did out of my passion, to see people in Africa get vaccines, get an education, get some of the things that I couldn't get. Because I know all the things I couldn't have and all the things I couldn't do. But I didn't focus on that. I focused on saying, okay, this is what I have. This is how I'm going to help Africa. And out of that came that amazing opportunity. And it is a responsibility. I do it and I do it well. But I've had a lot of help and a lot of training to do it. At the beginning, There was no structures, there was no templates, there was nothing. So we did it on our own until those things could be put in place. And I like doing that. I like using my creative skills. I like drafting things, putting things together. I don't really like it when there's a template, but in today's legalistic society, it's better if you have a template. So those are the ways that I look at legacy, and those are the ways that I think about legacy. And when my mother arrived here in Canada, she looked like a homeless woman. I cried when I saw her at the airport. Her coat was hanging on her, her teeth were all like falling apart. It was terrible to see how she looked. So if people want to tell me that I'm obsessed with her and that I'm abusing her, including my mother herself, they can go ahead and do that, because it's a false accusation and it's a false charge. I'll just keep my distance, and they can carry on with their lives, and one day they'll wake up and they'll say, "Where's Belinda? We haven't seen her for 5 years, 6 years. Oh, I wonder how she is." Because my conscience is clear. So I hope you leave a good legacy, and I hope you think about how you're leaving your legacy in your organization and what impact you're having within your organization and in your community. Whether you're a migrant to Canada or you're living in your home, your place of birth. Many of us would have loved that. If things were okay, we would not have left our home countries. Many of us loved our home countries. So that's something to remember.